Hello, this is Irma Baker, and I'm welcoming you to our show. We're sponsored by RSVP, the Retired Senior Volunteer Program, and that's a part of Mature Services. A kaleidoscope, according to the dictionary, offers a constantly changing group of bright objects, and that's what we hope to achieve with these programs. We're highlighting interesting organizations, activities, and people in our viewing area. After these messages, we'll be right back with today's guest.
RSVP of Summit County has been making a difference in our community since 1972. RSVP volunteers are increasing the quality of life by participating in programs and organizations that provide important services to the community. RSVP matches personal interests and skills with opportunities to serve. If you're interested in adding more meaning to your life and improving the lives of others, please call 330-253-4597, extension 166.
Welcome back. Our guest today is Susanna Chapman. She's the general manager of Richmond Pharmacy in Wadsworth, right on High Street. And I guess, Susanna, you've been there for quite a while.
Yeah, I've been with Richmond's for about 13 years now. Started at the Wadsworth location and have stayed through there the entire time.
So you're a familiar face then to all the people who use the Richmond Pharmacy. Mm-hmm. And it seems like Richmond Pharmacy is a little unusual in today's big box drugstore world. Tell us a little bit about the company.
Yeah, we do set ourselves apart. I think one of our biggest things is our customer service and the quality of service that we provide, the type of service we provide, and also the services that we have within our company. Our bread and butter and our heart is in pharmacy. That's our business. But we also have a great integration of vitamins and supplements, wonderful health and beauty products, foods, different things within different locations that really are supportive to the communities that they're in. And that does, I think, set us apart from the other pharmacies. And the other thing that's really important within our company is we have pharmacists that actually come down and talk with our patients. So there's a wonderful interaction with our employees, our pharmacists, and the services and relationships that we foster with our customers.
I think that makes a big difference in the whole aspect of customer service, mm-hmm. because you're serving customers primarily from the aspect of pharmacy. You are a pharmacy, mm-hmm. rather than, oh yeah, the pharmacy is just stuck there, mm-hmm. because we have to have it. Mm-hmm. But pharmacy is really at the heart of mm-hmm. your company.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Now, how did you get involved?
How I got involved, I lived in Wadsworth for about 20 years. My background is actually in sales and management, but I've always had a tremendous passion for just overall health and wellness. So when the opportunity came on board to be a part of Richmond's, it was like putting the perfect marriage together. So I kind of walk my talk. I have a great passion for natural products, living healthy, exercise, putting that whole picture together, and just a tremendous passion for working with patients and really helping them to find good quality of life.
You're involved with the entire management then of the Richmond Pharmacy in
yes. mm-hmm.
Wadsworth,
mm-hmm.
And you have pharmacists on staff who have the experience and the skills. I guess one of the things that I want to know is, when should you go to a pharmacist?
Mm-hmm. The nice thing about our pharmacists, you can go to our pharmacist at any time. If it's something as simple as a poison ivy rash, or as complicated as questions on your medications, if there's interactions, so our pharmacists are available for our patients regardless of the question. So it's to know that they're always there. They're part of the community. They're part of their health care.
One of the questions that is of big interest, of great interest mm-hmm. today to particularly senior members of our community, is the whole area of vitamins and mm-hmm. supplements. I mean, you hear those commercials, you see them mm-hmm. on the TV, and it's all take this, take that, oh, this is going to be good for you, and that's going to be good for you, and it's natural, and it's organic, and all that. But that really doesn't mean it's good for you, does it?
Correct. Correct. That's the thing about supplementation, and you're exactly right. I mean, if you watch the TV or you read the magazines and you're inundated in the mail, you would have closets and closets full of supplements because everything would seem like the miracle thing. And you know, supplementation actually has a wonderful place in your life. I mean, it's great as far as adding to the quality of life. But yeah, you really have to watch what you're looking for. There's a lot of parameters with deciding to take a supplement program. Probably one of the biggest ones, especially for seniors, is watching those interactions with prescription medications. And you're exactly right. Just because something's natural doesn't always mean it's safe.
Is that something then that the pharmacist can help you with? I mean, a lot of these supplements are over-the-counter things, but that doesn't mean I should just go up to the counter and pick something because I saw it on TV. Would it be to my benefit to go and talk to the pharmacist and say, I'm taking this, this, and this prescription medication. Is it okay for me to take this supplement?
Yeah, and absolutely. That is the tremendous benefit of having our pharmacists on staff with the natural products. And especially patients that are getting their prescriptions filled within our company, we have their profile. So we know what prescription medications they're on. And we can look at them and say, yeah, this is fine to work with this prescription, or no, this one may not work. We may look into a different alternative that maybe produce the same benefit that you're looking for, but maybe will work better for you based on whether it's the prescriptions you're taking, lifestyle, or things like that. But yeah, that's where the pharmacists are absolutely invaluable with that.
Then it's important too that your pharmacist knows all the medications you're taking, because it could be that you had a prescription filled somewhere when you were on vacation or something like that, and it may not be in that profile. So it's important that your profile be up to date as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think a big question right now, because it's getting so much emphasis, I think there are two areas of supplements that are really targeted at seniors. And by seniors, I mean people maybe even from their mid-40s, and maybe they don't want to think of themselves as seniors at that age, but the fact is that's when the system starts maybe needing a little extra help. So I'm thinking of the bone health and joint health. Can you talk a little bit about supplements and how they affect those?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're exactly right. Sometimes one thing people really have to be aware of too is the lifespans are longer now. Longevity is expanding. So to take care of our body and all of the systems, and it really becomes a lot more vital to have that nice quality of health that we can enjoy that in our later years. And yeah, the bone structure, joint, we're using this body a lot for long years, and it takes a lot of wear and tear. So there are some really good supplements that can help support the health and the integrity of the bone, of the bones and of the joints. Obviously, your calcium, magnesium always comes to mind. And the thing about calcium and magnesium, yes, it's an essential mineral, but it not only helps with bone health, but it does also help with muscle health as well. A lot of people always think of calcium with bones, but it does support muscles. So even helping with leg cramps, things like that. And the thing with calcium too is making sure you're really getting a good quality and absorbable form of calcium. That's the other kind of caveat with calcium, is not just taking an inexpensive form of calcium. It can be very challenging, especially as we age, to digest calcium. So you want to get one that's going to give you the benefit and be absorbable. So looking at formulas like a calcium citrate is a very absorbable form of calcium. Looking for formulas where calcium and magnesium are put together. Those two minerals work very synergistically together and helps the body to absorb those things as well. And then looking into joint health, probably one of the most common ones out there is glucosamine. Everybody's heard of glucosamine. And what the glucosamine does, there's that soft, spongy tissue that's between all of our bones and joints. It allows that ease of movement. And what that does is it kind of helps support the integrity and building up that soft tissue between there so that there's more ease and range of motion, less inflammatory response there. But again, it's looking for the good quality absorbable supplements.
I didn't know there was any difference between them. And now you mentioned calcium and magnesium. I've never heard of that connection. I've heard of the calcium vitamin D connection. And now I'm hearing something about a K2. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Minerals, the way the minerals are very, can be at times very challenging for the body to absorb, but they work very well together. So when you're looking at bone formulas, you're going to see things like calcium, magnesium, vitamin D absolutely helps with absorption, and that's another vitamin we can talk about a little bit later as far as how wonderful that vitamin is really coming to focus. And there's other things. You've got K2, you've got boron, zinc. These are all minerals that work very synergistically to help the body to absorb.
But I thought boron used to be a gas.
It did used to be a gas, didn't it? But it's a mineral that's actually really essential for building bone. Yeah, it's part of that same group of minerals that way.
Well, how is anybody supposed to know all this?
That's where you need to trust the source that you're going to. I know for our company and for what Ritzmann's does, we really, really research the companies and the vitamins that we carry. So we know their background, we know the quality of ingredients that they put in, the testing that the products go through. That's key. So it's really trusting, who you're buying those products from, and knowing what they're going to do. And again, that brings in the knowledge of the staff that we have, within our locations. And again, that wonderful integration of bringing the pharmacist in there to make sure that there is not going to be an interaction with anything else that you're taking. But yeah, there's a lot out there, and it can be very confusing for people and very overwhelming. So it's trusting the people that you go to that, we're doing our homework to make sure that we're looking for the right product.
How do you even know if you should be taking, or if there's going to be any benefit to you in taking a supplement? And now, let me back up a little bit and say, when I say supplement, am I including vitamins in that?
Absolutely.
Or do we look at them as separate things?
Yeah, supplements is kind of a broad category, and there's different categories of products that are out there. Your supplements are going to encompass your vitamins, your minerals. There's also herbal products that can fall under that category and sometimes be in their own category of herbals. But generally, when you're looking at a supplementation program, it is a program of products, whether they're vitamins, minerals, possibly herbals, that you're supplementing your everyday lifestyle with. That's where the category, I think, of supplements came from. It's something that is in addition to what you're currently doing. And I think that's the key to in knowing really about supplements, because they can be of tremendous value to the quality of life, but they don't replace a healthy lifestyle. And that's key, is making sure that you're still doing those basics in your healthy lifestyle, that you're still, getting active exercise, getting outside in fresh air, drinking pure water, eating whole food, healthy diets, fresh fruits and vegetables and whole grains. Those are always still going to be your basics, because you can be taking those wonderful supplement out there, but if you're not doing the basics, it's only going to be so supportive for you.
And all of that seems to hinge on knowing whether your water is pure, whether or not your fruits and vegetables, they may be fresh, but are they coated with pesticides and all of that? How does all that work together in a healthy lifestyle?
It's all in moderation, and it's looking at when possible, when affordable, looking at local, buying organic. And if those things, aren't necessarily available, there's a lot of natural cleaners out there that you can, clean your fruits and vegetables with.
A cleaner for fruits and vegetables?
Yeah, there's a lot of natural. It's usually citrus oil or simple things like that, but you can use grapefruit seed extract in a little bit of water, and even something as simple as that helps to just remove any residue that's on there, but not deposit any other type of residue that you're not trying to have on the product.
Well, how would you do that? I mean, this grapeseed oil comes in a little jar or something?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna make your own, grapeseed, grapefruit seed extract comes in little, like a dropper, and you could drop, a few drops into water or use it in a spray bottle. But there are a lot of companies out there that make natural cleaners to wash and clean your produce with that, are very affordable and very easy to use. You spray it on there, let it sit for a while, and then rinse off the product.
What about just soap and water? If I took some warm soap or warm water and soap, like dishwashing detergent or something like that, and washed my apples or my pears or anything where I'd be using the skins.
Yeah, you could. Again, it's just making sure that if you're using a more natural dishwashing liquid. So again, it's watching, you know, what's out there now. And grocery stores have gotten really good too at, you know, bringing in products that are maybe, you know, have less toxic ingredients or a little more biodegradable. Castile soap has always been a classic. I mean, just plain Castile soap is a great cleanser that you can use for washing produce and things like that. And that's very simple to find, just a plain Castile.
Is that something then that would be good to have on your kitchen sink, just a bar of Castile soap?
Absolutely. You can use it to wash your fruits and vegetables, wash your hands, and yeah, absolutely. Castile's a wonderful soap.
I just thought that was I thought it was a brand name.
Yeah, no, it's a type of soap. Yeah, it's a pure biodegradable soap.
Well, that's something new to me. Certainly, I'm learning a lot from what you're talking about today. Let's talk a little bit about exercise.
Okay.
Because exercise is hard to do when you don't have anywhere to go. You know, many people are sitting home. Maybe they're sitting home watching the show today, and there's no reason for them to go outside into that fresh air, which I wonder too, how fresh is our air?
Yeah, that's a whole other subject.
Another subject. But I have heard that the air outside, even if it's not the fresh, it is probably better than the air inside. So is it important then to get outside?
Yeah, I think so, at least to some degree, at least for maybe 20 minutes to a half hour of a day. And you know, the other benefits of that are just, you know, when you're getting outside, especially this time of year when everything is so coming to life, just getting out in nature, you know, allowing yourself to just unwind from whatever it is, you know, that you're doing in your everyday, and you know, just the simplest form of exercise, which almost anybody can do, is walking. Exercise doesn't have to be complicated, and most important, I think, of exercise is it needs to be something you enjoy, whether it's gardening, playing with your children or your grandchildren, you know, taking a walk in the park with a friend. It doesn't always have to be an organized exercise classes at a gym. You know, where those can have their benefits too, with camaraderie and, you know, having a partner to do things with. But I think it can just be simple movement. It's getting up and moving the body. Again, when we talked earlier about longevity and, you know, the lifespan, the more you move it, the more it's going to be a lot easier to move in the long term. So
even if you wake up in the morning with maybe some stiffness or soreness, it's better to get out and start moving?
Yeah, absolutely. Get some movement. And you know, there's a lot of whether they're gyms or YMCAs, are you know, really focusing on gentle yoga classes, breathing exercises, a lot of exercises with like using exercise balls and bands. There's some simple things that even you can you know, learn from just taking one or two of those classes that you can incorporate at home. But yeah, just some very simple movements and mild stretching that isn't going to be evasive or harmful, but yeah, just gently moving the body. But getting outside when possible, and even if the weather's not, you know, as great as it can, you know, change in Ohio, bundle up for it, you know. But getting outside really does make a world of difference. It really does.
Are there some good places where people can get outside? Because I'm thinking probably some of our viewers are sitting out there thinking, well, I live in a neighborhood where I would not walk the streets. Or me, go in a park by myself? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So how do you balance safety and being outside?
It's, you know, it can be challenging. And I think that's where buddy systems are always nice. You know, walking with a neighbor, walking with a family member, you know, I know the focus is trying to get outside to, you know, to walk or to get that exercise, but I think that's why a lot of people walk inside malls, because you can get that exercise and you feel in a safer environment. But yeah, you know, sometimes even having a pet. They always say that probably one of the #1 deterrents of safety is having a dog with you, you know, so having that little companion. But yeah, I think the biggest thing with that is probably buddy system. I don't know if I would walk in a park myself without having someone else with me.
Now, you said that you walk the talk. Have you always been interested in good nutrition and healthy living?
I would say probably for the last 20-25 years. Yeah, it has really been a passion of mine. And I think for myself, it just started from, you know, when I was younger, you just burn the candle at both ends and are not aware of nutrition and all of that. And sometimes it takes, you know, something that changes in your life to make you think, oh, you know, I probably should be taking better care of myself. And once I started, it became a passion. And you know, when you make even the smallest changes, it doesn't have to be a full lifestyle change. Even the smallest changes of, you know, changing a little bit in your diet, watching for your trans fats, or reducing sugar a little bit, a little less caffeine, you know, getting into a vitamin program. The smallest changes can really make some big changes in your life. And it's like the more you experience and feel those changes, the more excited you get about those changes, and the more your desire is to keep going there. It really does. I mean, it makes a difference.
Some people, I think, have a tendency to give up if they don't see immediate results.
Mm-hmm.
How should you approach something like even these minor life changes?
Mm-hmm. And that can be very frustrating. And I know, which I've had a lot of patients when they'll ask if they're taking a natural supplement, you know, is it going to work? How fast is it going to work? You know, how fast am I going to see results? Some things, depending on what it is, you may see results fairly quickly. You know, sometimes within that day, sometimes weeks, sometimes it may take longer. And it's a matter of patience. You know, changing lifestyle changes, changing habits take time. You know, and what I always tell patients when they want to, you know, to begin to make these changes is make them small. You know, make a simple one. Okay, I'm gonna really increase my pure water count, and I'm gonna, you know, really focus on drinking water, you know, so many ounces per day for the next 2 weeks. And make little tiny goals rather than big ones.
What's a pure water count?
Pure water count, basically one of the calculations for how much pure water a body basically needs for basic maintenance is taking your body weight, and then you divide that number by half, and that's how many ounces of pure water your body requires just for basic functioning. And that's not including coffee and pop and that type of liquid. We're talking pure water or herbal teas that maybe aren't caffeinated, but that's the amount of water the human body needs for basic organ functioning, things like that. And then if you take into factor perhaps hot, humid conditions, situations like what we're doing right now where there's a lot of talking, that can dehydrate the body, then that level will go up. But that's just the basic that the human body requires just for basic functioning.
Now, what you're saying is that if somebody weighs 140 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
divide that by half,
Mm-hmm.
that's 70,
Mm-hmm.
and you're saying that person needs a minimum of 70 ounces of pure water a day?
Mm-hmm.
70 ounces, let's see, 32 ounces to a quart, 64 to a half gallon. You're talking more than a half gallon of pure water a day for that particular person.
Yeah, if someone weighs about that, you're looking at about 70 ounces. Yeah, if you're looking at, and you know what, the easiest way to break that down too is into smaller dosaging. Rather than taking, you know, half a gallon container and trying to chug that all down, it's sometimes we said you can just do that by measuring it out. This is what I need. Take a small cup, and every so often pour a little bit into the cup and do it incrementally. It's very challenging to try and do it all at one time. And in fact, most people don't feel very well when you do that.
Well, I don't think it would do you much good. I mean, to
get it all at one
overload
time.
your system like that.
But yeah, to just slowly build up to that. But that's what the body, even the brain, requires an amazing amount of water for functioning.
The brain requires water for functioning?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. That's why if you think of like a day, like especially like through midday, you get kind of tired and you're more lethargic, chances are most of the times the body's dehydrated. You know, water can provide energy, it can help with weight loss, it can help with so many basic conditions of just helping with quality. It's amazing how many people will experience hunger when it really truly is dehydration. It's really thirst. So the body really requires a tremendous amount of water.
I never would have thought that the brain requires water. And I had heard that drinking a lot of water helps people who are on diets, but I never knew why or how it worked. Well, if anyone out there, and all those people out there watching our show today who are interested in starting some kind of a vitamin or supplement, let's say a supplement program, give us maybe very quickly the top 3 things they should do.
You know, in the basics of a supplement program, probably the number one thing, if you did no other supplement, would be a multivitamin. That's your basics. And the reason for that is, again, we talked about our lifestyles, and we talked about, you know, just how our food is now, how our environment is. You know, the quality of our food just isn't what it used to be. Our tomatoes don't have, you know, the vitamin C count that they did 40 or 50 years ago. So taking a basic multivitamin is absolutely the basic one with that. And probably another thing too is looking at, as you go through the probably above 50 and beyond, looking at an iron-free multivitamin. That's key. Unless your physician has diagnosed you as anemic or in need for iron, generally beyond that age you don't require the extra iron. So looking at an iron-free multivitamin. The other one we talked about earlier was calcium and magnesium. Just as important for gentlemen as it is for women. A lot of times they think it's the women's supplement, but just as important for men. And the third one would be fish oils. Those essential fatty acids. The body doesn't produce them, and it's very challenging to get them in our foods unless we're going to be eating cold water fish every day, which most of us aren't going to do. But those are going to be, I would say, the top. Those are your basics. That's a foundation. Your multivitamin, your calcium, and a good quality fish oil.
Well, Susanna, thank you so much. I think you've given us all a lot of wonderful information that will help us live healthier, more active lives. So thank you so much for coming today.
My pleasure.
And thank you all for viewing. We hope you've enjoyed our show today, and we hope you'll remember our sponsor, RSVP, a part of Mature Services. RSVP offers adults age 55 and over volunteer opportunities here in the local community. There are job search opportunities, and for more information, just call RSVP. Call the number on the screen. This is Irma Baker saying goodbye for now.
Since 1971, RSVP has been matching volunteers' talents to community needs. RSVP is affiliated with the Corporation for National and Community Service, a national organization that supports service and volunteering through grant-funded projects. Volunteers organize neighborhood watch programs, tutor children, renovate homes, plant community gardens, assist victims of natural disasters, and serve their communities in many other ways. RSVP offers maximum flexibility and choice to its volunteers as it matches the personal interests and skills of Americans 55 and older with opportunities to serve their communities. If you're interested in adding more meaning to your life and improving the lives of others, please call 330-253-4597, extension 166.
Distribution of this program has been made possible through the generous support of the Kaler Law Firm. At the Kaler Law Firm, attorney Jim Kaler helps seniors and veterans who need long-term care keep some of their life savings in the family. For more information, visit www.protectingseniors.com. The mission of the Kaler Law Firm is protecting a senior's life savings.